So I came on to read on Senator Richard Burr. He's a senator from North Carolina and the head of the Senate Intel Committee. So he gets a lot of information before the rest of us. And it's come out today that he had told a group of his constituents, which I'm going to assume are wealthy donor type constituents, that he was meeting with, and said that this coronavirus, and this was weeks ago, like at the same time that Donald Trump was telling the rest of us that this was nothing, and this coronavirus was nothing, and that there were 15 cases and they would be gone within days or whatever. I mean, he was just downplaying it. At the same time, Richard Burr is out there telling his constituents that this is going to be huge. It's going to be a very big deal, and it's very serious. And then we find out that he sold, before the rest of us knew this was going to be a big deal, he sold in one day $1.6 million worth of stock that now, since this news has come to be, it put, like all these stocks would have, they would not be worth, they would be worthless now. And so he had the information ahead of the rest of us. He sold a bunch of stocks because he knew that this was coming. And I mean, I'm just like, this has to be illegal. He needs to go. We cannot trust him. Is this going to be a big deal, or is he going to get away with this? So let's see what the cards had to say. First, these two cards came out at the same time. I wasn't sure which one should cover the other, so I kind of just realized when I looked at them together. He's a king of cups, and boy, does he want to get away from this situation. He is really trying to get out of this somehow. And when I look at this King of Cups, he's sort of floating. He's not on solid ground. He's floating. He doesn't know what's going to happen. And he looks pretty worried. And he really kind of looks pretty silly in all those robes and that crown, because I think he's weak and feeling weak, but just still trying to put on an air of being important. And I think, he wants to figure out a way out, to snake out of this somehow. At the surface, I think he's looking for advice from people, from friends. He's probably talking to a lawyer. He's trying to figure out what to do. And I also think, I had another thought. This is also kind of us going, wondering who else has done this. And we need to examine that. So, he's looking for friends to stick up for him and bail him out, I think, of this, sort of find some angle to get out of this. What he has happening beneath the surface is just boom, 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 boom. He is just being inundated with, I would say, phone calls, emails. People want statements. People want, you've got Democrats in Congress calling and saying, we're going to have a meeting with you. And then you've got Republicans, I think, also saying, did you really do this? And we need to put on a front and figure out what to do. So because of this all coming at him, he's trying to figure out what to do. In the past, this is him, Four of Swords. He had the information, but he just laid it down next to him and took a nap and didn't tell the rest of us. He just kept it to himself. And then what he did is he stole. You can see the little smirky face saying, I know more than you guys know, and before everybody else knows, I'm just going to take. This is literally the thief stealing, taking card. So those two together make a lot of sense to me. And then we have the Chariot, and this, I think, is good because this is a very powerful, strong card, and I think this is coming at him right now. I think everybody is coming at him. They want an explanation. Like, this is not going to be just another day in the news. I think it's big, and that's what this validates for me. And here he is trying, with all these burdens, trying to figure out how he's going to carry them. And I just think it's so interesting because I got all of these wands cards, and they all are telling a story. This is coming at him. This is his burden, and this is his fear, is that he will get knocked out of his position. This is a Nine of Wands is a sort of trying to stand your ground card, and so I think that he wants to stand his ground, but he doesn't know all this news, all this information, all these questions, everything coming at him. He doesn't know if he's going to be able to stand his ground. And then what I got here at the end which was interesting, was this, Three of Swords, but it's upside down. Now, if it were like this, of course, that's heartbreak. Like, that's the end. It's a terrible, terrible, like, sort of card to fall in your spread. And the fact that it's upside down, I kind of, I was trying to sort of interpret it. Maybe if he had a heart, does he have a sincere heart, or is it more like he's just going to be destroyed with whatever heart he has? And then I did look it up in the book, and it actually, the meaning in the book is this would be a heartbreak that you're dealing with by yourself, that kind of, you're sad and nobody else sees about it. This is a public heartbreak. This is a public, I think he's going to be just destroyed by this. I hope I'm right. I think I'm just so personally so angry because it's just so sneaky. And, you hear these people talk about, the Hunter Bidens who, in a year he makes $300,000 as a representative of a company, and this guy takes $1.6 million in a day out of the stock market, knowing that it's about to drop because he has the inside information. That's really bad, and that he's got to go. Wheel of Fortune I see as, one day you make your money, and then now it's your fortune is falling. And then this, so I added these because I wanted to clarify this card. And this I think is kind of interesting because it makes me wonder if he's going to have to pay some of this back somehow. I don't know what kind of court would command that, if he's going to be going to court. Is he going to have charges? I wondered if he's going to have a couple of charges. Is that what we're looking at here? Are there 2 charges? And I also wondered if if the money will have to be, it seems like it should have to go to workers who are affected by this coronavirus and helping them to get by and pay their bills and keep their homes. That would be a good use for that money. Maybe you got to move that money around to the people that you lied to, that you purposely kept in the dark while you cashed out. This was at the base of the card, so I feel that the fact that all this is coming out is a strong spiritual force that is sort of making everybody accountable right now. This is the Empress is sort of like God, the female form of, and it's interesting. She's sort of pregnant. I think there's a lot of corruption that she's ready to bring up to the surface. And this is maybe part of that force, or I don't know, some kind of female, maybe there were women involved in exposing this. Or maybe this is going to be the women in the country, or the female forces in the country who just aren't going to like this. But I kind of think it's telling us that it's a sort of force of nature that's happening right now, that's exposing these people. Now, what I wanted to know then, I wasn't quite satisfied. I just wanted an answer. Is he going to resign, or is he not going to resign? How is this going to go? And I got the Hanged Man. So that just tells me, at this point, it's up in the air. We don't know how things are going to go. Along with it, I got a Knight of Swords and a Page of Wands. This is telling me it's a brand new revelation. And, this could be him trying to fight it and say, oh, fake news media, everyone's ganging up on me. Or it could really be the people, us, saying, we're not taking this anymore. We see what you did and we want answers. So we'll see where all this goes. Oh, interesting. And I decided to look again at the bottom of the deck after I pulled these out, and we have the Judgment card. And this is just people rising up and waking up. And the Judgment, we've got the Empress and the Judgment card, so I think that there's a lot coming down on him and maybe others as well. I think we're going to start to look and see who else suddenly cashed in a bunch of stocks, who might have had an inside scoop on what was coming. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that we do have justice in all of this. Thank you. Bye.